Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Window into My Studio. I love that I call these things episodes. It's like I have my own TV show, which is funny because I never thought I'd be do anything in the sort of the theater arts, but that's what I'm doing. I'm calling it that. Anyway, episode, Window into My Studio. It's open. I wasn't actually going to open it today. I was going to take a break this week. Wasn't really sure I was going to even continue doing them. And because this morning I just sort of thought to myself, I don't really have anything I want to say. I've been doing a lot of sitting in stillness and quiet and just sort of doing a lot of contemplation as I've been making my art, which is not unusual for me. I'm really a very contemplative person. I suspect I was a monk in prior lives, or a nun, or any other sort of contemplative role that we can imagine. I think I've done that before. But like I said, I didn't really think I had much to say today. I'm still just stitching away. I'm not doing anything that's really demonstrative in terms of my art. It's hard for you guys to see what I'm stitching on because of the way I've got my iPad positioned. I really haven't found, I guess I need to go search for some sort of device that would hold it so you could look down on what I'm working on. Note to self, do that. But yeah, so I didn't really think I had anything I wanted to share today. And then something rose up. And, because when as almost always happens when I let go, something always rises to the surface because that stillness allows our true self to kind of speak and to be heard. And so I thought I would share what rose up for me today. So we're going to dive into some woo today. I'm going to get stitching, but I'm still going to talk about the woo, and I'm going to talk about what it is that rose up. And it's all centered around what things we believe about ourselves and how that can impact our reality. So let me get you positioned so you can see the stitching, and then I'm going to both stitch and speak, and we'll go from there. All right. So as always, got to get you positioned so you can see the sewing machine and the pretty fabric. Yay. Side note, I'm working on the yellow canvas, the yellow outline bit of it. So I've done one lap around this particular panel and I'm working my way around it some more. And I'll stitch until I'm done talking and then we'll call it done for the day. So, and look, I matched my art. I'm in yellow today. I'm matching. Have fun. Not planned. So, what rose up for me today it's about beliefs. And so much of what we think to be true about ourselves is based on something that we believe, right? A belief that we've somehow formed about ourselves. And often these beliefs are very unconscious. I'm not even going to say subconscious. I don't even know that they necessarily rise up in our dreams, in the subconscious realm. I think they're very much unconscious. Many times we're not even aware that we believe certain things about ourselves. Because we're constantly having conversations in our head. We don't notice it, but maybe a couple times a day we'll notice that we'll sort of tune into the thoughts that are zipping through the head and the conversation we're kind of having with ourselves. But most of the time we don't do that. So it's all this very unconscious process going on. And so we have this, our beliefs are sort of cycling through as we're going through our day. And again, we're not really aware of it. And so much of what I do, so much of what I make with my art, so much of my journey in my 53 years on this planet has been about personal growth and spiritual evolution. It's just, I kind of want to say it's a hobby of mine, but in reality I think it's a natural inclination as a spiritual being of light who's living a human existence to kind of pursue this, right? And it's like the search for purpose. Very similar type of thing. So anyway, as like I said, we don't consciously always know what we believe to be true about ourselves. But if you've ever had an incident in your life where you've said where something's occurred, something's gone completely to shit, or it went well, because this works both ways, right? But maybe something went completely to shit, and you're like, well, I just knew that was going to happen. I knew a woman once who spent years and years saying it was all part of her tortured existence. As her friends, we all kept telling her, please stop saying that, you're going to make something bad happen. And she ended up with a brain tumor. So she believed that her life would be tortured, and it was. She did survive, which is for which we are all grateful. But anyway, but yeah, so if you've ever said that to yourself, well, I knew that was going to happen, stop, and next time that happens, stop and think about why you just said it, because you created whatever just occurred because of whatever it was you believed to be true about yourself. And the only way, and as a result, you're creating your normal, right? You create your current normal based on what's going through your head. Again, most often unconsciously. And so you get the results that you're expecting because of what you believe to be true. And the only way to change that is to change what you believe to be true about yourself. So the thing that rose up for me today when I was sitting here debating, do I do this? Do I come on here and do some sewing and do some talking and rambling, was that I was kind of surprised this rose up. But anyway, what rose up for me was that I don't actually expect to be seen, which I thought was really weird, right? Because I don't have any problem being visible. I mean, I don't know how many times in my corporate existence where people would say, hey, can you give that presentation? Can you give that speech? Can you go, talk to people and explain X, Y, Z, or teach them or train them or whatever? And I'm like, sure, that sounds like fun. And so I would go do it, right? Because I had no problem getting up, standing up in front of a room of people and rattling on. I've got no problem, no fear about firing up my iPad camera and talking away to whoever happens to turn up here. But like I said, so I'm like, what do you mean I don't expect to be seen? And that, like I said, it was really surprising. But I realized that, this belief is actually creating a reality for me. Because while yes, few people see these posts, I'm not expecting them to be seen. I'm not expecting them to go viral. I'm not asking for viral. That's not what I'm asking for. But I am, part of the reason one does these things is to increase visibility, to bring more awareness around whatever it is that one's trying to do. And in my case, it's, produce, market, and sell my art. And like I said, so to discover that I don't actually expect to be seen was like, well, that's not working for me. No wonder I don't get a lot of visibility or comments or, people in my Etsy shop or my Fine Art America shop, or even just messaging me saying, hey, I'd really like to see your art. Can I have a virtual show? I'm like, well, no wonder nothing's happening because I'm not expecting it to. So this I realized, like I said, when this sort of arose today, I'm like, oh, well, that's something to talk about. So let's talk about, how I'm going to change that belief about myself. And I'm actually doing something really simple because it doesn't take lightning bolts to change things when we're experiencing personal growth and spiritual growth. Sometimes it does. Sometimes they happen with cataclysmic, and stunning, light shows, let's say. But many times the things that we need to know about ourselves and the things we need to learn and then the actions we need to take are just simple little tasks, right? And so for me, if I have a belief that I don't expect to be seen, which seems weird, right? Because again, I'm putting my art out here. I'm talking about something that's very personal to me right now. But my art is my heart. It's little glimpses of my soul and my spirit when I share my art here in this venue, when I put pictures of it on Instagram, when I write to my mailing list every week and talk about stuff there. The whole purpose of that is to be seen, to be visible. And yet, if my belief is that I don't expect anyone to see it, well, then that's going to be the results. You check the metrics and nobody opens the email, or you check the metrics and nobody watched the video or whatnot, right? Well, I'm creating that reality because of that belief. So the simple little act I'm taking, and I've already actually taken it, was to I love index cards. Huge fan, particularly the neon color ones, because I like bright color. And I took my favorite fuchsia Sharpie pen, because I also like fuchsia, favorite color. And on this index card, I wrote, old belief, I don't expect to be seen. And then directly underneath it on the same card, I wrote, what did I write? I wrote, sorry, I already forgot. I believe I am seen. And it's going to take me a little while to integrate that new belief, and that's part of why I wrote it down. So I've written it down on something that I will actually see daily. It's on the little magnet board that's right on my desk next to my computer. It's on a bright yellow, neon yellow index card with bright fuchsia Sharpie pen on it, so it's not like I can miss it, right? And I will continue to read it, and I will integrate it, and I will probably add it to my meditation practice, where I'll go into a meditation with that as sort of the thought to meditate upon. I'll also, when I go to sleep at night, take that new belief and say, all right, dreams, let's reinforce this new belief of I know I am seen. So it's a few things. I'm not going to visualize being seen. I'm not doing affirmations. I'm just going to remind myself by reading my little index card that I have a new belief. And I will slowly but surely integrate it by thinking about it and changing the thought, which changed the belief, which will change the results and the reality. Anyone can do this about anything. Maybe your belief is that, you don't deserve to have happy relationships, or that your job is, killing you, or that you never have enough money to do what you want. These are beliefs. These are thoughts. Thoughts and beliefs are very similar, right? A thought that's thought constantly and over 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 repetitively becomes a belief. Sometimes these beliefs come from external sources like parents and teachers and authority figures when we were young. Money issues typically often come from that, especially money issues. But anything that's related to your self-worth often comes from that. The funny thing is, after I realized that my old belief was that I don't expect to be seen, I knew exactly where it came from. It came from my childhood experiences of being sort of bullied and teased verbally most every day of my grammar school experience from second grade and into seventh. And so I've done, for a long time I used alcohol to help me be more visible, to give me more bravery to be seen. And then at some point along the way I got over that and got past it and realized that, no, I can be visible whenever I want to be. But I think this belief of I didn't expect to be seen came from, I didn't feel seen as a child, or when I was seen, it was negative. And so I created this, somewhere along the way, I created this belief of I don't expect to be seen, because then I could hide. I'd be safe, right? I'd be safe and protected. Nobody'd pick on me. Nobody'd have any comments to say that were negative. Nobody'd hurt my feelings. Well, that's a pretty shitty fucking way to live through life. And while I've done tremendous work on it and on myself through my 53 years, and that's really why I was so surprised to realize that my belief was I didn't expect it. It's still something I'm working on, obviously. So today, like I said, I just wanted to share that with you today. I want to dive into the woo of beliefs and thoughts, and because it's what you believe also impacts how you feel. And if my whole work is to create feelings out of fiber, then I often take the feeling and go backwards. And it's like, all right, I'm working on Enlightened, so I'm going to be looking a lot at my personal journey and my spiritual growth while I'm creating this piece. So I'm taking this feeling and going, okay, what can this feeling teach me about myself? What can this feeling teach me about the world? And right now, it's teaching me that it's time to change a belief and create a brand new normal for myself. So like I said, you can do this too. If you'd like some help on it, let me know. Get in touch. I didn't put that in the comment section of the thing. But I'm trained as a coach. I don't really do coach work, or at least that's not what my primary business is. But I am available if somebody would like to talk about, changing their own beliefs or working on changing their thoughts, changing their feelings, getting to a point where they have a better understanding of them. It's something I'm actually pretty good at, and so I suspect I could be of help. So if that's something that you have struggled with in the past, to change what you believe about yourself, let me know, and we'll get on the phone and we'll have a conversation, or Zoom, and either one, and we'll get on and we'll have a conversation, and let's see if we can help you shift that. But in the meantime, in terms of my art, the best place to see my new work, or to be the first, the only way to be the first to see my new work, like when this thing is completed, is to get on my mailing list. And so if you want to do that, drop a comment below in the email, or not a comment. Don't do that. Send me a DM. Let's respect privacy here. I want to respect yours. But yeah, DM me with your best email address, and I'll put you on my mailing list. And then you'll get something from me every Monday that'll talk mostly about art. But I've got to start talking more about the woo side of me, and the woo side of art, the woo side of feelings, the woo side of everything. Because the spiritual thing, personal growth, spiritual evolution, my God, it's absolutely part of who I am. And by not sharing it, I'm just contributing to not being seen. So that is what I have today. I'll pause there because I'll be stitching for hours not hours on this one, but I'll be stitching for a while. It's going to take me a while to finish this section. So I won't keep you on for all that long a time. But that's what I had today. I hope that made sense. I'm not always I wonder sometimes if my thoughts are going, if the conversation's going in kind of a linear fashion or not when I'm sewing, because I'm sort of just thinking stream of consciousness. So, but to reiterate, if you've got a belief about yourself that's risen up, if you've recently said, well, I knew that was going to happen, and it was something really it was something that didn't serve you, it was something shitty, it was something fucked up, then it's because it's something that you believe to be true about yourself. And like I said, if you want some help, if you could use some help, if it's waking you up in the middle of the night, this thing that went to shit, and you want some help to change the belief, let me know. We'll talk. Let's see if we can shift it for you. And then, like I said, if you want to be the first to see my new art and get my articles and learn more about what I make, why I make it, my thoughts around art and the art world, research I've done, as well as the personal evolution and spiritual growth stuff, DM me with your email address and I'll get you on my list. So until the next time, thanks for peeking into the window into my studio. And I hope what you believe about yourself to be true about yourself serves you. I'm working on it for myself. So until then, till next time, take care, stay healthy, peace and love. Bye-bye.